Hey everybody, welcome to the second podcast of Call of the Night. I, as usual, am one of your hosts, Gamonic, and
And there's a spirits right here. So we're actually going discussing too about some of the discussions that has been happening the last month in Overwatch worlds, because I remember in the Overwatch world there has been a lot of actions be happening a lot. Am I right to say that?
yep, a lot of stuff that happened in the past. This is only 1 month, right?
It's been a month and there's a lot of things that has been
Yeah,
happening in
like
the Overwatch, like not in the game but in also the esports side of things too. And also there's also like some certain updates from some of the content creators like who just went into the visit the PVE, which we'll be talking about it today. We'll be discussing about the PVE. Am I right to say that?
yep.
Okay, so the PVE part, wait, the
So,
PVE part,
so firstly, let's talk about how what the PVE was initially supposed to be. So, So
we did
even
discuss this.
by so even when Overwatch 2 was first introduced, they also released like parts of the PVE at the same time, and they were gonna
Teasers
show
of it.
and in the trailer they were showing like a lot of stuff like what is it like new store like there's a new story, there's like progressive gameplay and
Hero missions and story missions and every etc etc, and even like hero tree ability that allows you to create your own abilities, which you rarely see that in
yeah.
a lot of like FPS PvE styles of games, which is very unique to Overwatch, which I think this is what everyone was very excited about.
Yeah, yeah. Because I play a little bit of JRPG and I feel like and the skill trees is one of the main things that intrigues you into the game.
Makes you want to go back more and more.
Yeah,
It makes you want to
it
continue.
improves your character, and I think the skill tree that the Overwatch developers were planning to implement into was a very fun and interesting idea that I like very support like very highly.
Pretty sure it's not only you who support the idea. I think was everyone was very excited about that idea when it was announced in BlizzCon
Yeah,
2019.
I don't think anyone had a
Everyone,
negative impact, like a negative
no,
thought about it.
nobody was had a negative impact. Everyone's all like, we get to finally play PvE in Overwatch 2. Let's go! And it's not so like so serious like competitive tryouts. No more like event missions and all, like we need to wait for event missions to play all these kind of things. We get to have like the PvE replayable feature that everyone can play and at any point of time, regardless of any of the events. And
Yeah,
what we get in the last few months, everything that they planned for was
yep.
down to the
They
pins.
scratch it for no absolute reason. And the worst part is they're still planning to release it. Like, what? I'd rather
My
you just cancel you just cancel the whole PVE. I think that would be more
and
much
also
easier.
And also another thing was that what it was released to be for the PvE, I think was in season 5 and season 6. I haven't touched season 5 or season 6 in like I haven't played Overwatch in like 2 months, but like season 5 and season 6, I heard there was like a beta pass for you to create to play. And the beta pass eventually, from what I heard, was actually you need to pay the beta pass in order to play the PvE missions, which causes you like what, 15 USD. In Sing dollars that's like 18 SGDs, am I right to say that?
Yeah, yeah, about that.
Yeah, and this is what some of the content creators who actually flew down to Anaheim to playtest some of the PvE. We did watch this video from Stylos's video, and he did explain about what are some of the contents about it. And this is what some of the content creators said. The PvE is actually some of them, there was some really like, was a bit of a mixed review. Am I right to say that?
You could put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just look at some of the so one of the pros that I think was implemented by CarQ he mentioned was that it looked fun. The idea was like there as what he mentioned, and what was it? I can't remember exactly remember. I need to look at that tweet up. You can just go and talk about it first.
Yeah. Um. Actually, I never. To be honest, I never really look into it
Yeah.
that much because.
Yeah, I'm going to look at it now ASAP. So just give me like a couple of minutes. So basically like the general consensus is that I found it. Okay, so this is what the PvE he said. Map is actually much bigger than what we normally play. Pacing is quick, which probably gives like at least like average of 10 minutes a game or less. Points ticks away faster than control, and it does feel like snowbally. That is the flashpoint, and some high grounds feel really oppressive. And this is why he said that one of the flashpoint needs is that needs some more tuning on point tick rate, needs more time between flashpoints. Still too early cause small sample size. Need the community to play to get the data to tune accordingly. Pretty fun though. Refreshing to play the new mode and better than push and 2 CP. That's the PvP node. That's the new PvP mode. Now this is the PvE story missions. Voice lines and dialogues are great. That's what he mentioned. Environmental lighting and environmental and all the lightings are good. You can blow up different parts of the omics. That's what he said.
I mean, at
Different
least
parts of the
okay.
omics.
At least they were able to like implement like the main basics of a of like a story base of like a story based game.
Yep. Yep.
I think they implemented that pretty well, and I'm honestly kind of glad that that is the one thing that they made it consistent throughout the whole
Yep.
development.
Yeah. And there's also like there's a decent flash out cinematics before and after the PvE vision.
As in?
Like the cinematics, there's like some
Oh,
like
you
flash
mean
out
like
cinematic
in-game and CGI.
in-game CGI. Yes, that's what he's implementing. There was some really good like in-game dialogues in between before and after like
Ah, okay,
the
okay, okay.
missions and all that kind of thing. And this is the cons. Any enemy AI felt linear.
Linear? What do you mean
Linear.
by linear?
Like it felt a little too easy from what I heard.
Oh,
From
too
what I heard.
easy.
It's felt what too easy because I literally listened to the video and it felt like if they said it felt like it was a little bit too easy for everyone, which I mean they're top 500 players, so we don't know how the community
Yeah.
will play it out. And this is what he had.
Uh, is there like a difficulty? Are
Oh
there
yeah.
different difficulties?
Yeah. Based on what he said was that when he was playing the PvE missions with the other content creators, this is what he had said. It was actually easy to clear. Played on expert difficulty. Don't know about legendary yet, so we don't know how legendary is going to be played out like because
Oh,
we
yeah.
don't know how it's going to be played and all that kind of stuff. And they said there's not enough time to explore around the map.
Oh, not enough time.
Yeah. Not enough time to explore around the map because if you
Oh,
play like something similar to like the archives missions like
yeah,
Uprising
I get it, I get it, I get it.
and Uprising, you do remember that we need to go to certain points on the map to destroy like to do some things to like fight off the I remember it was if I recall from the Uprising we have to fight off like the null sectors
Yeah.
for like a certain period of time to cap like 300 for all like 3 points, and after we do that we need to fight in the payload in order to do that kind of stuff, which I could understand why it was not enough time. And this is what he had to say. And the last one is kind of a little bit like, which is what kind of feels like all uprising event is like lots of sitting in one spot and shooting people.
Oh,
Kind of
that's
similar to like, it kind of similar to like Junkerstein when you just say
Jungus.
sitting around, like Junkerstein's Revenge.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kind of feels like that.
I
And
think
overall,
yeah, from what he said, I think he's trying to like put all the mechanics and all the mechanics of all the previous events into one, excluding the maze snowball because that's completely
Maze
impossible.
Snowball is a PvP mode. Let's
Yeah,
just put it
because
that
that
way.
was
It's a
impossible.
PvP mode.
Um, and
It felt
I feel like they did a bit too combi-ish.
it's a bit too simple, would you say it? Or was it like a little
Ye-
bit underwhelming? Because like
it's slightly
yeah.
underwhelming
Yeah, and this is
personally.
like he said the overall experience is like a 6.5 out of 10.
Six and
Which which it feels like it's like in the meh category. It's like it's
yeah.
not the best, it's not the worst, but you do have to feel a little bit worried that because you do remember
Wait.
you need to realize one thing
No, yeah. No,
that
no, continue.
you do need to realize one thing. We waited for 4 years for them to release the PVE for Overwatch 2. And when the content creators say when the like how do I say when the people who played the game who are like these massive content creators where people follow, because I'm just gonna say one thing, Karkyu, I watch a lot of his videos and I watch all of his takes and everything. He seemed to be like the most positive Overwatch player, and I did tune into some of his streams. He's the most positive guy. He doesn't tilt, doesn't rage, and doesn't like you know doesn't yeah basically he's just a very calm, chill guy that you want to hang out with.
Mm.
And my one take that I'm very scared of was that like when I gave up on playing Overwatch, like I think it was earlier this year, was that when the PvE is out, I think it's what's going to be fun is that like if these 4 years of the PvE is like if it's not like led up to our expectations, that if it is like really just like in the middle or really bad, then what happened to then these 4 years that you guys planned for are just completely wasted.
Yeah.
Like just straight up, it's just completely
To
wasted.
be fair, everything went downhill the moment Jeff Kaplan left.
Yeah, that's true. It really went downhill.
Yeah.
So
Because I'm pretty sure the
like
skill tree. Because I'm sure Jeff was still here when the
the
skill
skill tree
tree
was
was implemented, right?
implemented. Yeah,
Yeah.
when the skill tree was teased and leaked about when they released the detail about it during BlizzCon 2019, that was
Yeah.
the original idea. And if you want to have hear more PV news update, in the recent I remember watching in the recent stream, Emong actually did interview with one of the Blizzard developers for Overwatch 2.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently after the season 6 PvE, I didn't watch too much about the stream about it yet, but I'll need to do a little bit more digging. But this is what he actually said was that like there won't be any more PvE content after season 6, but until 2024.
Mm. Mm.
Like
Ooh.
that's a
That's
bit
very.
of a red flag. I like I said, guys, chat. I'm just gonna before you guys come at me. I didn't watch the interview, but this is what it was revealed was that like there wasn't that Emong did interview one of the developers about it. Like they did say that there won't be too much PvP and PvE events, PvE missions until 2024.
Mm.
When you first thought of it, that's a little bit of a red flag, correct?
Yeah. That's I don't know about that honestly.
Like I'm just gonna say one thing. Like, would you rather pay the battle pass to play the PvE missions?
No. It's
No,
not.
right?
It's not worth.
I rather than
It's really not worth. The battle pass is not even worth in general. Why they give you a loot boxes?
I have no idea. Like I had this, I'm still having this general discussion. Like I think everybody in this general discussion thinks that like if you think battle passes is like the way to go, if you take a look in most of the like, I think most of the FPS games and like the other games like let's say like Valorant for a certain example and even Fortnite, the reason why they make those battle passes work is that Valorant you yes it does say like Valorant does say that you need to pay like additional like 1,000 VP to get the battle pass, but if you work to grind for it then it's actually better.
Yeah.
And then Fortnite, it does. If I don't exactly know how Fortnite battle passes work. You did play Fortnite for a brief period of time, correct?
Yeah, I did.
How does it actually work? Because I know it's much different from how it is from
Yeah.
like Valorant.
So actually, by right, you only need to pay the battle pass with real money once, because once you buy the battle pass in Fortnite,
Okay.
you can immediately you will gain enough V bucks to buy the next battle pass.
Okay.
You like you like no here's the thing, you gain more than the amount you paid for.
Oh,
You
okay,
gain
that makes
you
sense.
if I'm not wrong, if I remember correctly, the battle pass in Fortnite costed 900 V bucks. But the
Which
amount
is
you get both from the free and the paid roles in total, I think it's 1,350.
okay.
So that in my mind is already pretty good.
Okay. Oh yeah, I did actually found out the Emong summary interview thing from Reddit. Okay, this is what they actually said. Okay. This is what they say. For Flashpoint, Flashpoint will be come to com later, which is the new PvP mode. And
Okay.
this is what the changes they say. There are no plans to change 2CP maps into Flashpoint maps. They might use those places for newer maps, mainly Hanamura. So we might see Hanamura back in a rework form.
Okay.
And people will say that, and think people will not be lost in Flashpoint to do and to be in every area being distinct. And the duration of the game of Flashpoint can be slightly longer than rest of the game modes, and points get capped faster than capture point.
Okay.
Doesn't this feels like 2CP in a nutshell?
It's basically if two CP and and wow.
Like let me just give you guys okay chat. I'm
Shit,
gonna give you guys a big
what's the
disclaimer.
Legion mode called again? I keep forgetting.
What is it?
Like the game mode for it.
Control
Oh
point?
yeah, it's like two CP and Control had a baby.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. But chat, let me just give you guys a big disclaimer before you guys come and pitchfork us to death. Like we have never played Overwatch for a very long time, so
Yeah.
Flashpoint is a little bit out of a period. But let's go to the PvE one, which is what is the biggest controversial take for like the last month and so like this is what was said. Original story missions were an add-on to the battle pass where you could pay extra for it, but decided to make a bundle and give you enough currency to buy the battle pass and getting a dope skin.
Ha.
Yeah, that's
So
the
you buy the
summary.
battle pass to buy submit to get submissions and one very limited edition skin.
Apparently, that's what it sounds like. And then this is the next one that says they might in the future make all story missions purchasable as one package.
That sounds like a scam.
I mean, did you even see the BlizzCon scam prices?
Oh, that one, no, I haven't seen that yet.
No, I saw the prices. The prices are ridiculous, not gonna lie. And this is the thing that I think everybody is very pissed off about. PvE will not have replays.
Wait, what? People would not have what?
Will not have replays.
Replace?
Yes, replayable features.
You mean replayability?
Yeah, yeah.
You say replace and
Replay, replay, replay,
replace and
replay,
replay are two
replay.
completely different
Yeah,
things.
yeah, replays. There will be no replays for PvE, which
What
is
the
the thing that,
hell? Like
which is
like there's
already.
no like example there's like no save data.
Hmm?
There's like no save data for it.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently, I don't think so. That's what it sounds like. That's what it says in the
Everything's
narrative.
auto save. Jesus.
Oh yeah, as I mentioned, when the next story mission or drop will happen is to be confirmed. But somebody in the earlier post stated that there will be no story missions before 2024, as I
Oh
mentioned
yeah,
earlier.
yeah,
And note that we do not know when the next batch is coming, so they do not know when the next wave of story missions will be coming. And if you can't get a match in a few minutes, you'll put on a team with AIs and bot teammates.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think this what it means is that if you can't get a game in the PvE missions, you'll be put with a team with AIs and bots.
I guess it doesn't. I guess it doesn't make you like less like have to wait around in a chair just doing something else.
Yeah, that's true. And this is the last one, which actually I don't really understand. There will be no leaderboards for the King's Row co-op missions to do weekly challenges. And this is what they say. Funny enough, Jared thought that he couldn't share that info because he forgot that they share the info. The co-ops will have changes every week. They might appear in the future co-op missions.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
Um.
and
Yeah. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know, man. PvE looks a really bad disasters right now.
yeah,
It looks being so disastrous.
like
Like,
what what in the world happened?
like what has actually just happened? Okay, so this is what they said they'll do the progression systems. Players will get track general stats like eliminations and hero stats and all that kind of stuff. So player progression cards will be back in the game in season 5, which is already, I think, is already implemented. And also fire cards are back, which is like, I think, what people have been wanting to see for a very long time.
With fire cards?
Yeah, the with on fire. You know, every single time when you're ever popping off, your character say,
Oh
"I'm on
yeah.
fire." That moment, yeah, that is like the one of the few best moments on Overwatch 1 that was not even added into Overwatch 2. Like they're just adding all the old shit back together,
Yeah.
which doesn't make sense. And this is what they'll say. You will have like total level visibility combined with all hero levels and progressions, which we can just ignore about it.
Oh.
Player progressions will ignore your pre-season 6 starts, and also some of your PvE stats will be ignored to do it being exploded. I don't know what the last point is, but we can. But progression,
I guess they don't want the stats to like be wrongly displayed.
Oh yeah, this is what they say for heroes that they are gonna like. Apparently, there's like a massive hero changes that are gonna happen in the mid seasons. They're looking to rework Top and Symmetra.
Why would they rework Top? Top's kid is already pretty good.
I mean, the Top kit doesn't make sense to me because like I mean like, you do realize they reworked Top in the best way possible, but I don't understand why would you rework him. Where I understand he's kind of a niche character, but if you know how to play a niche character well, you can win some games. I'm just gonna be real with you. You can actually win some games.
Okay.
I honestly don't understand, but yeah, I mean we
Wait,
kind of just.
wait. Are we talking about the new game balance change just now?
You want to go into the discussion, or what are your thoughts of the overall PvE looking for the future? Because do
Yeah,
feel like.
cause like I don't know. You guys suddenly change topic. I was like, I was
Oh,
like losing
sorry,
track.
sorry, 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 sorry. Like that's what the plans are for like for like the general part. Well, I mean that's what the general idea was. But PvE looking a little bit. PvE game mode content creators said it's alright. The game mode, apparently they say it looks like much better. There's like interesting dialogue lines between the enemies and the heroes and all that kind of and all that kind of stuff. Cons is a little bit like they did say it's a bit AI linear, which I think is a little bit too simple.
Mm,
But they did mention they're only playing on expert difficulty. Don't know about how legendary mode is, so we will not know until they get a chance on it when it's
okay.
released to the public. Battle Pass added being need to buy the Battle Pass to play the PvE missions is already a big no-no because the Battle Pass is already ridiculously expensive to play.
Yep.
Um, other than that, no more story missions until 2024 season starts, which is like
No. No.
no,
No.
no,
There's just no.
no. There's just it's Jova, as what people have been saying.
Yeah.
It's Jova.
Uh,
Speaking of PvE changes and all that kind of shit, let's just talk about the balance changes system that has been happening in the last month. Like, I haven't played Overwatch in a long time, but I did see what the new balance changes teams was, and it is very, very horrendous. It just felt like you're like running like a team of headless chickens, and they're just like putting in like, oh, let's just put everything whatever's in the pot and then just serve it to the customers, which is
yeah.
that we hope we wing it out, it will be turned out good or bad. Like, I don't know what. Okay, if you're a developer, like, how would you actually rework Cassidy? Magnetic
I
grenade.
would
How would you
honestly
rework
give.
the
I.
magnetic grenade? How would you rework that ability? Because it is one of the
How I
most
reintegrate? Oh, pretty simple. I
weirdest.
would actually give his flashbang back.
Just introduce flashbang back. Why not? And you know what's the interesting thing with them redoing magnetic grenade is like a flashbang and the original magnetic grenade had a little baby.
Yep.
Had a little baby.
Like,
So
like, like,
and
like, who thought it was a good idea to make a grenade to have infinite distance throwing
distant,
range,
and you can kill people too when
and the
they're low
fact that you
enough.
can, and the fact that it's homing.
Yeah, and you also can kill them if they're low enough. That's the thing.
Yeah, the fact that it does 125.
Wait, 125? Are you fucking serious?
I'm pretty sure it does 125.
The fuck?
Like flashbang deals 10 times as less.
It's flashbang on steroids. That's gonna be real view. And
Yeah.
I did watch like Stylos's video about the balance changes thing. Like he literally threw like the magnetic grenade on a jungle queen when it's about to ult, and then when the jungle queen's about to ult, her ult duration got cancelled.
Oh yeah, I saw it and I went, why is
Why
that a
did
thing?
it? How
Hello?
is this an ability that literally was like I don't know
Like,
how,
how
but
did you
like
get to development?
the thing is that how did it pass through the main developer stage? How did it literally pass through
Yeah.
Alan Keller in the
Who
first
thought
place? How did it? Who thought it was a
who the
who thought it
fuck
was a
thought it
good
was a good
idea?
idea?
When we thought break was a big when we thought the new break ulti rework was like a big like question mark, this is next level bullshit.
Yeah.
This is next level bullshit. I mean like people will counteract saying that, oh, doesn't Ana sleep dart counter that? Yeah, let me just give you guys a counter argument. Ana sleep dart, you need to be very precise on how to land it on the target. You need to be precise on where you're gonna aim it to.
Yeah, cause it's projectile. It's not his gun.
And also another thing I also want to make an additional counter argument is that Cassidy's magnetic grenade, you can literally just throw it you can literally just throw it at a long distance and you will just hit someone and they'll get stunned. And the movement
No,
will
it's
get
not.
cancelled
It's not
out.
stun. It's slowed.
No, you can't even move at all. When you get
But
hit
you
by the
can,
magnetic grenade.
cause no. It's just very slow. There's a huge difference between being stunned and slowed. You know.
Yeah, true.
So in my it's just get like very slowed.
Yep. You throw the thing, you literally, and also there's also another thing is that in when I was watching the Overwatch World Cup qualifiers, which we will get to it in the later part of the series, in the later part of the podcast, was that I watched the Overwatch World Cup I didn't watch as much of the Overwatch World Cup qualifiers, but like I can't remember where was it, but like I watched one of these, I think it was one of the Saudi Arabia matches, like where it was like I think it was in Blizzard World where they were playing Cassidy because Cassidy was one of the from I didn't watch much of the games, but I feel like Cassidy in this patch in the pro scene, if you like, is actually really good if your aim is good and you just know when to throw the grenades at a time. Because like, you know, in second point of Blizzard World, the high ground, he was
Yeah.
at the high ground and he threw the magnetic grenade towards the Ash. The Ash coach gun away, and the magnetic grenade hit on a Valking Mercy, and she got slowed and her movement dropped down, and then it landed him an easy kill.
Oh my, that's not good.
It is not a good ability. It is not. It is just poor balance design changes. Like, you know, I was like, I was one of the few people that think that the Overwatch balance team was one of the best balance teams ever in the game. Not gonna lie, I thought it was one of the best balance
I
teams.
thought it was, and then Ghost came out, and I was like, no.
Actually, I think it was before Goats. I think it was way before.
Well, for
I
me
think it was.
personally, it was Ghost.
Yeah, that's true. I think it was like for me it was the morph patch. I got really angry at the morph meta. I got
Ah.
really angry at morph patch. You cannot convince me that that was like the only time where I was like just red flagging like nerf mercy ASM. Like please, I was not the only guy that's just pitchforking out of it. Like let's just talk a bit about the history of the balance team first thing first. Okay, like they knew what was overpowered at the start and they nerf it accordingly how to nerf it properly and over time it was actually properly balanced. There wasn't anything that was disrupting and they did know that there was in the pro scene it was like a certain rise of certain heroes like Ana Nano Boost and Reaper Blade was honestly unstoppable at that time, and they removed the speed boost from the Nano Boost, which was actually which was slightly better. I didn't play much of it better, but I know that it wasn't so disastrously to deal with back then, and they nerfed the tanks that were overpowered and nerfed them to be slightly not less very tanky to play. You don't need to force to play triple tanks, which was a good sign. And they did nerf like Hawk's original one shot ability where they didn't where you will not get bullshit one shot by a 600 HP walking fat bastard pig. I have a despise it for Roadhog. And then as you mentioned, Goats was where they completely dropped the ball and everything.
Yeah.
I
Actually, wait,
felt
no, that wasn't really a. Yeah, actually, no, that thing about the Ghost wasn't really a. It wasn't really a. It wasn't really
bad.
like a character balance patch. It was just adding it. It's just adding a new character. So technically, it wasn't game balance wise. It wasn't Ghost.
It wasn't. It was just
I mean, so technically, character balance wise, it's not Ghost because they added a new character that just naturally shifted to Ghost.
it just not only that. When the character was first out, it completely like
Yeah.
destroyed everything. Like I was thinking, like, is this a joke? Is this actually a fucking joke? Like that was my thoughts was when I played it in real life with my friends. I'm like, this is not balanced.
Yep.
This is not balanced. Please, somebody tell me this is not balanced. How is this? How did this even get passed through like the main developer stage at all? Like how did this
Yeah.
even get approved live for the game servers?
Yeah, but to be
Which
honest, let me be honest. I at first I thought Ghosts would be the death would be like would be bad.
But no, there was a thing called double shield.
No. Doomfist came out. And then I was like, oh,
I thought you
okay. And then I see Doomfist in play, I was like,
everybody
Resident
Doomfist
Sleeper.
everyone's Doomfist experience. Like you either get fisted in the face or you get fisted very badly to the point where you just can't play the game. Like
Yeah.
just straight up put it that way.
Like I
I
said
thought
to God, every time I play every time I get a Doomfist player,
it's feast or famine.
no, here's the thing. Every time I see a Doomfist player, if it's on the enemy team, I get destroyed. If it's on my team, we get rolled.
He's a very roly character, not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
and we're
And
going like.
I also do want to talk one thing about this is Cassidy's changes. Like, do you rather have the old Cassidy or the new Cassidy changes?
I rather have the old.
The flashbang fan.
I rather have the flashback. The flashback on. Now I see now that I see this sticky in the grenade. The flashback is more is much more consistent.
It's much more consistent in 1v1 situation, which I think was what a lot of people didn't like
And
about it.
no,
Was that
and it because right, the sticky grenade not only does a ridiculous amount of damage, it actually is easier for Cassidy to hit shots. More than the flashbang.
because flashbang you need to know when to throw it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's
And there is a traveling distance.
True.
It might be like, it might not be short, but it's still a traveling distance nonetheless.
True. And there's also another thing I do want to make another additional statement between like old Cassidy and new Cassidy was that old Cassidy you need to have really good aim and you need to have really good positioning and you need to know how to play around your 1v1 matchups well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the new one is like, okay, the new one has kind of like 2 out of the 3 things correct, except for the grenade thingy because the grenade
Oh
thing
yeah,
is kind
yeah.
of
No,
like
The old thing is just shoot one, throw good. It shoot once, throw grenade. Go to see and watch him die.
no, no, that ain't it.
That's just a no for me, dog.
No,
Honestly.
I mean like I don't know why, but like there was like a period of time for me when I was playing in my Overwatch competitive series in my Overwatch competitive seasons, right? I at some point I don't know why, but one of my DPS careers, right? I main Cassidy a lot. Like I don't know why. I just started playing Cassidy, and it was in the middle of a double shield meta, by the way.
Oh no, that was bad. No, 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 no,
No,
no,
no,
no, no,
like
no,
I
no, no.
know, no, but I was still fragging out with him. Like I was fragging the fuck
Okay.
out. Like I was fragging the
Uh,
fuck out, man, when they are not running double shield. Like I was just farming those kills.
nah. Let's.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Captain Minute Grenade
Um.
change was like a big like the new changes was like a big what the fuck moment. Why how did this get through the balance teams in the first place? How did it
Mhm.
got through like the face of like the big thumbs up button like okay, Berlin isn't a live server, go, and then turns out it was a very shit show. But the good news is that they're reverting the changes. They're reverting it from what I heard.
No, I rather they just give Flashbang back.
Oh yeah, this is another thing that was actually announced in one of the videos is that they are introducing some crowd control back into the game.
Crowd control.
Like some of the CC crowd control abilities that were like very notorious to play back in Overwatch 1.
They bring it back.
They're bringing some of it back. That's what the original idea was, which
Oh.
my general consensus of thinking was that like this is what my general consensus think was when Overwatch 2 was out, was that the good thing that one of the why at the start of season 1 was actually really good was that you're not getting annoyingly CC shatter sleep darts consistently 24/7. It is much more like how do I say, like who can carry harder, and then at the same time was like everybody at least gets to have fun to play the game. That was my general consensus, and then like now they're just slowly introducing some back of the crowd control abilities back into the game. Was like I'm like, what's the idea about right now? Like, you had the original image of running of like trying to cancel all the like trying to remove as much of the OCC abilities that cause like insane annoying PTSD to everyone who played back in Overwatch 1, and now you're just slowly introducing back, which is like, do these guys even have a general idea of what you guys want to balance or not?
Mm.
Because let's be real here, Overwatch 1's crowd control was one of the most notorious unbalanced things in the game.
Yeah.
Like knockbacks, flashbangs, shatters, hooks, grabs, which counter grab as a crowd control.
Uh yeah. Yes,
Mm,
because the only thing because the only thing they can get away from grabs were literally stealth abilities.
true, true. Doomfist abilities, which was very notorious in 1v1 situations, like
Don't don't
in
don't
like
don't
low
don't
healers.
don't don't don't, don't even mention it.
Break, break, no need to say anything.
Yeah.
Lucio boobs, Diva rocket
No,
boobs,
honestly,
Winston.
Lucio Booms is
No, Lucio actually the none of the most balanced ones was actually Lucio, Winston's, and Divas, because Winston you need to be very good at primary struggle. Lucio you need to be know when to boop and all that kind of stuff.
and Diva boosters you don't use to boom. You used to get high ground.
Yeah, that's it. But you does it
And
does
and
do
and,
but
and Lucio boom and Lucio boom is just fun. It's just fun
yeah, it
to
was just
use.
fun. It's fun and you need to have a brain to play. That's it.
Yeah.
You need to have a brain to play. The ones that were very notorious to play around were Shatters, Gravitic Flux. I almost forgotten Gravitic Flux was a thing.
Uh, well, that's only.
Gravitic Flux and Sigma's Rock. I almost forgot those two were
Well,
also
honest,
like crowd
no,
controls.
the rock is understandable. The flux honestly is like kind of situational because it's honestly, if you have the right, if you play with the right characters, it's easy dodgeable.
Yeah.
But the rock is not really that
No,
like
the Rock, but
the
no,
rock is
but you do
not
have
as
to.
dodgeable as you think.
Yeah,
Honestly,
that's true. That's true. That's true. Orisa's Halt. I almost forgot that was like some of like
oh,
the
this is
old
all.
CCs. Orisa Halt. You know the
Oh,
giant
halt! I
circle,
heard halt.
the
Halt.
circle thingy
Yeah,
where if you
yeah,
get pulled by it, you like she either can pull you off the map or you get pulled and you get pulled Hawk.
yeah.
I feel
Personally, I don't think halt is that like okay.
bad,
People call it as a CC, but not like that super. But it's not
bad.
like
It
that
wasn't
super
super
effective.
CC.
It's just like it's only to me personally. The halt is only like a position disruption.
It just disrupts their positioning. That's it.
Yeah,
Like
it doesn't really like stun them or like
it just pulls you out of positioning, and then
yeah
if either your teammates follow up or your teammates don't follow up. That's the thing.
yeah. So
That's the
I won't. So halt isn't really that like isn't really as It's,
ability.
it isn't really like that. Isn't really like it's not a very threatening CC as you think.
You just need to pray that you do not get displaced, and if you do get displaced,
And also 90% of the time people use hold to combo. They don't
that's
to combo.
true, true, true. Point
Which
taken.
honestly at that part that honestly if you pull that off that's cool.
That's
Even
yeah,
even to the enemy team, I honestly even to the enemy team that would be cool.
true. Also, like, let's just go through like the overall balance changes in Overwatch that has happened right now. Shitty balance changes on the Cassidy magnetic grenade thingy.
Okay, we talk about it a lot, so
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's like the one thing we agreed was like a big red flag. Past and current CC changes that they like past CC experience that we went through, and also like them trying to implement all certain crowd controls back into the game, which is like, are you sure is this a good idea? Like they literally did say that they did not want to bring back crowd control that caused a lot of trouble in Overwatch 1.
yeah.
Yeah, which isn't that great. Okay, enough negative stuff. Let's talk about World Cup moments. Let's go.
World Cup, huh?
World Cup moments. Yeah. Like
That's yeah. You want to talk about it because I have some stories from friends that
oh.
are very
Uh,
interesting.
Sure, sure. Okay, but let me just go through like some of the. Let me just look it up first. Okay, like I actually watched some of the World Cup matches, and honestly, it looks kind of, it looks like,
Okay.
look, it looks pretty good. It looks okay. You get to see like, oh, the top teams. Like you get to see like the top teams, like the top countries band together, the best players from each of the other countries to play, and you get to see like which is probably the best region, which is like probably the best countries, and you get to see some new underdog teams who has never made it to BlizzCon Anaheim into the team. But I think the region that I kind of want to focus the most is actually the EU. Is actually the EU qualifiers, surprisingly.
EU.
Yeah, the European qualifiers. The European qualifiers had some of like biggest upset because some of the powerhouse teams didn't make it in this year.
Oh.
Yeah, like okay, let me just
Wasn't one of them Norway?
yeah, okay, let me
Didn't
just go
he?
through Group
Wait,
A.
did Norway used to go to BlizzCon?
No, it's not. Okay, let me just
Oh
tell you
wait,
who's in it.
what was I thinking? The
Were you thinking of?
Netherlands?
Yeah, okay, let me just give you let me
Oh
just give
yeah,
you
yeah.
Group A summary, the Group A summary. United Kingdom, Spain, France, Denmark, Belgium, Netherlands, Italy, Portugal. That is Group A.
Oh yeah,
Group
no, no. I
B,
remember most of the time, Netherlands, Portugal, and not
or
the
are you
UK.
talking? Wait, are you talking about soccer or is it a different World Cup?
No. Like I mean Overwatch World Cup.
Oh, World Cup. Okay,
I remember the
okay.
Overwatch World Cup like Netherlands, Portugal, and what's the name? Spain. Was it Spain? No.
Why are you thinking a different team? Wasn't it Sweden, Spain, and Finland? The three of the best teams
Sweden
that
and Finland. Yeah. Those two. I forgot about it.
wasn't they like used to be the kings of Europe?
Yeah.
That's what I'm
I was talking about
saying.
them. I completely brain farted.
No, like when I watched like the first World Cup experience, and I look at the top European teams, the top European teams that were part of the team were, I thought the original kings of Europe were Russia, Finland, Sweden. Like I thought these three were the best at a point of time.
Oh yeah. Russia, I don't know that much, but I know
No,
Finland and Sweden they were definitely up there.
no, Finland and Sweden has some really good players.
Yeah.
Like okay, let me just tell you like the groups that were in. So Group A, you got United Kingdom, Spain, France, Denmark, Belgium, Netherlands, Italy, Portugal. Group B, you have Saudi Arabia, Finland, Norway, Sweden, Germany, Turkey, Poland, and Iceland. If you were to like predict out of okay, if you were to predict five teams to make it out of those two groups, who would you have predicted to make it out?
Sweden and Finland, obviously.
Okay,
I personally think Germany.
okay.
Uh, Spain? No, not Spain, not Spain. Norway.
Norway. Well,
And
it's quite hard, right? I'm married to say that. It's quite hard.
I guess no, not Turkey. Portugal. I guess I don't know.
Okay, so let me just tell you who made out in Group A. Apparently, Group A, United Kingdom are the first seed to make it out.
Huh?
Yeah, United Kingdom look really good because they have some really good they have a mix good of contenders players and Overwatch League players like Backbone, Kai, Funny Astro are really good high caliber players, and
Oh.
JK Aru 19. I don't know how you pronounce the name. It's been one of the new and upcoming United. It's been one of the new and upcoming tank players coming from contenders regions from the UK. Like
Oh.
the old UK main tank guard was used to be Christopher and Fusions,
Oh.
and they have like a new prodigy. And for flex support and for main support, Funny Astro, I really highly respect Funny Astro as a flex support, as a main support player. He
Yeah.
plays so well. The DPS kind of expected. Kai, phenomenal hit scan player. Been playing Overwatch League for like the last. He's been one of the only few like hit scan players that can compete against the best. Backbone has been doing Backbone from what I don't really watch much of him, but by watching his records last year with London Spitfire, he looks a really good like support player. The second seed that made it out of the group was actually Team Spain in Group A.
No, I was kind of right about
No,
Spain.
no, actually Spain was good, were the underdogs in
Oh.
this run. They were the underdogs because from what I heard was that most of the players they signed were mixed unknown contenders players, and most of them were unknown contenders players, and only one of them I realized was Halef, who played for British Hurricane, which is
Oh.
the London Spitfires academy team. They had like a very I didn't watch most of the matches because time zone differential, like literally the matches are happening like 1 a.m. at a time and we're all sleeping already,
Yeah.
okay? So we wouldn't have watched that, and they actually made it. They actually beat some of the favorites like they even beat some of the favorites like France, Denmark, Belgium, and Netherlands. And Denmark was also another team that people did predicted to win, but due to like them having some really high profile Overwatch players like Shockwave, very good hit scan player, Naga, very good DPS player. Shax also another very good players, and there's some like mixed contenders players too. Like people predicted Denmark to make it in.
Hmm. I
But
see.
yeah, Spain actually beat like if I recall, they beat some of the heavy favorites like France and Denmark to make it to BlizzCon. And France also do has a really good team though. They have
I
like a
see.
really good
I
team.
see.
Like
I see. I see.
yeah, the one that was a big surprise for me was actually Group B. Saudi Arabia beat. They had like a what was their record? I remember Saudi Arabia they went 7-0.
What? They never drop a match?
They didn't drop a match. They went 7-0, and I was like, damn, I didn't know this. And I was like, damn, Saudi Arabian teams this year looks pretty
Wow.
good. Like they have like
Who
some
who
of
who who was second place on that group?
Finland,
Oh.
and they beat teams over like Sweden, Norway, and Germany.
Oh wow. That's.
Like okay, so let me just get it away first. So Saudi Arabian had like so this team had some really good like good contender core players. Like I don't exactly know much about the Saudi Arabian scenes, but they of the contenders players, but they have like a good mix of players there. And one of the players that is noticeable in the scene is actually Yazan.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know who that is.
No, remember the Farah notorious Farah one trick that destroyed EU and NA servers?
Oh, oh, Yazan. Oh, that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, he actually made it in, and they have some really good like high profile players like KSAA who played for the Overwatch League, who has like Overwatch League experience,
Oh
who played
yeah.
for the
I I
Vancouver
I I heard
Titans.
of him.
Sir Majid, who's currently playing for the Toronto Defiant. So you got some really good like high profile players and also like really good contenders players, and they literally beat 7-0 in some of the teams that were expected to make it out. Sweden, they from what I heard was that they didn't perform that well because I'm from what I heard was that Castle and Sparkle, they're two of their best players, were playing on ping disadvantage.
Oh, that's
They're
that's
playing
not
100,
that's
they're playing
not.
100 ping, and from what I heard was that like they rely on Kevster to go kill strat.
Huh?
Yeah, literally just Kevster go kill everyone.
Wow.
Yeah. But the Team Swedish roster, from what I've seen, I don't know much about the EU side of things, but I know Kevster and Sparker are two really good DPS players. Like Kevster has been proving it probably time and time again. He's one of the best flex DPS players. Sparker, an up and coming hit scan player who's also looked pretty good in the last season. And the team that I'm actually surprised that also did relatively well was actually Finland.
Oh.
Because most of the old Finland guards that we associate, like if you were to name a Finnish player, which is the first Finnish player that comes into your mind?
Shit. I don't remember.
Okay, fair
I
enough, fair enough.
like you say. I'm not really into
Esports side of things,
I'm not
yeah,
really into the esports side like that much anymore. So
true.
I'm not that I don't have that much knowledge about it.
I'm kind of surprised that they were able to build like a competitive roster, like both the old and the new generation of the Finnish players to, to still do well in the qualifiers and yet make coming out as the second team from Group B. And if you were to take a look at like the Americas, right? Americas, you kind of knew who's going to make it in there. United States, Canada, and Mexico, and
Yeah.
Colombia and Brazil are like the ones that make it up. From what I heard,
Yeah.
Brazil is some of the mixed old contenders players, and from what I heard, there isn't like people have been begging like contenders to come back to South America
Why?
because South American contenders has been stopped since the 2020 pandemic.
Oh.
Yeah, people have been begging it to be back. Colombia, but Colombia is a team that I think some people did say that it's a team that is like one of the few teams like the Americas doesn't really look that much like I'm just gonna say America's group doesn't look too shining. You just kind of knew which is the teams that are gonna make it in. Not gonna lie. Same for the Asia Pacific. Even the Asia Pacific, South Korea, massive favorites in because you got like all seven of these players in the roster are all like our caliber
Yeah.
championship roster players like Liv, Sparkle, Hanbin, Fearless, Fielder, Chio, the 2022 Dallas Overwatch League champions in their roster,
Mhm.
and also with Finn additional flexibility for in case of a double flex support matter. Another team that kind of made it that I would you expect is Japan. Were you surprised if I were to tell you this team that made it through, that was the second seed that made it into the main event?
Japan?
Yeah, Japan.
No, I wouldn't.
No, Japan were the second team to made it
Oh.
because
Okay, okay,
the
wait, no, okay, wait, no. Japan making it in is already like confirmed. Like like I already know before even before that, that Japan is already going because Japan has been because fun fact I think Japan has been consistent throughout all the World Cups.
I mean the one big surprise of the Japanese World Cup was I think was the 2017 run because you need to realize they were one map away from making it to BlizzCon.
Oh,
They were one map away
oh,
from making it to BlizzCon.
oh,
I'm
that
not
one I
gonna
don't
lie.
remember at all.
No, like I still remember that match because like when I went to my school when me and my juniors we talked about the Overwatch World Cup at the time, I think it was Australia versus Japan. It was the semi qualifiers, right?
Uh huh.
Everyone was all talking about Japan versus Australia. It was like a crazy five map
Uh,
banger. It was a crazy five map banger. Japan were one map away from making the BlizzCon, and now they're finally in the BlizzCon in the group stage already. I think the third team was really just South Korea, Japan, and Hong Kong. I think they were kind of the
Hong.
better teams.
Oh yeah, Hong Kong. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They were kind of better.
That was yeah.
They were kind of the better teams, and yeah, no need to say. And then you take a look at Group B, which was like you have Australia, Thailand, India, New Zealand, Malaysia, and Singapore. Which Australia were kind of the heavy favorites, not gonna lie. And this is one thing I do want to say, right, is that the Australian players in the Overwatch are very underrated, not gonna lie.
Fair, fair.
They're
Yeah.
very underrated, and
I've played with Australian players before, and even though some can be like dickheads,
toxic.
dicks and toxic, there are ones that's like they're just good.
They're really just good.
Yeah.
Like they're just real good. Like wasn't there like I can't remember who was it, but I remember wasn't there like one of the Singaporean like for pro players, was it Soggy, who played for one of the Australian esports teams?
Yes.
Wasn't it Soggy? Yeah.
Yes.
From what I heard, like the people from what I've seen and watched some of his VODs review, they were just memeing around. They were just memeing
They're
around.
just
They were
having a
just
good
memeing
time, man.
around. They were just having a good time. I think the another team that kind of did not ex we did not ex I was it did you expect if to say Thailand were made it into the main event?
For all the teams, no.
No, right.
For all the other teams, no,
No.
no. Honestly.
So okay. Yeah,
Wait,
so
what were the others one besides Malaysia, Singapore, Australia, and Thailand?
India, New Zealand.
India,
India
no
and
chance,
New Zealand.
obviously.
Okay.
India, no chance. New Zealand, no chance. I think also no chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So you were
cause
saying
those two teams, they're not even that like, they're not even that good. Like in this, like in the World Cup, just in general throughout the entire legacy.
but Australia and Thailand did have some good legacies, let's just put it in a way.
Yeah, Australia, Thailand. Malaysia, not really.
Malaysia, we don't really know
uh,
much about Malaysia's Overwatch team because the Malaysia Overwatch side of things because like who knows? They like it was like literally fuck all, like what the fuck happened to that whole entire team?
you think Malaysia's worse?
Yeah.
You think
Okay.
Malaysia's bad?
No, like literally, I mean, like in Valorant, if you pay attention to Valorant, the Singapore Malaysian teams like are really they have some really good crack
Yeah.
players. Like literally, like I don't know why, but in Overwatch it feels like you can't
Yeah.
produce like any local like talent to compete the best. But in Valorant, you can produce local talent in the best. You just need to define your own play style and create your own meta and literally just say, fuck the meta, we're gonna play however the fuck we want to play, and we're just going to press and we're just going to shoot people. That's
Yep.
it. So, okay, so going through the teams that were in the main event, let me just give you guys a brief summary of which are the teams that are in the main event. So China gotta buy into it because literally you literally can't play the game anymore. So let's just give you guys a summary of which are the teams that are in the World Cup. So USA, Canada, Mexico, Colombia, Brazil, United Kingdom, Spain, France, Saudi Arabia, Finland, South Korea, Japan, Hong Kong, Australia, Thailand. These are the
Yeah.
teams that already. These are the 16
I
teams
think
that will be playing.
I think out of every single I think out of every single country, I think Spain and UK are the most surprising that they
Spain and
got it.
UK.
Personally.
I think Spain was the most surprising pick because a lot of like the old guard of the Spain all
Yeah.
retired. I mean, so
Oh,
like yeah,
and Saudi Arabia because I never heard them like World Cup like ever.
no, you rarely see this.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here too. So yeah, so those are the teams that are in, and I think this is going to be a very interesting group because we get to
Yeah.
see like how well these teams are going to be playing in one of the stages, I would say.
Yeah.
Now,
Indeed.
on to the topic that was actually very spicy that we've been like trying to hold back from about
You see, as Singaporeans like us,
as
we have
Singaporeans.
to
Yeah,
talk. We have to talk about the shit show that happened to the World Cup.
the
I need to the shit show that happened to the Singapore World Cup.
yeah. I mean, like so. How do we? So where should we begin? How do we begin?
Well, we already talked about it a bit in the previous podcast. So,
Yeah,
like,
we did, we
so
did. Like,
I think we can ignore. I think we can ignore it and to talk about the current team.
the current team. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me
because
let
like
me
I said,
just
we talk about the previous team, the last podcast. So I think we can just not talk about it. Just don't talk about it and just talk about the current team currently.
Yeah, so let's just talk about let me just tell you the current team currently, okay?
Yeah.
So this is the original World Cup roster. Azil, Babakiti, Ziggy, Lumi, Overshake, Akame, and EXO were part of the original World Cup team.
Yep.
And before Vital, Flick Minaj, Xenofly, Ash Kane, Cup, and Paperback and Vips joined.
Yeah.
Oh no wait, I'm sorry. Flick Minaj leave the team due to disagreements with the team, so Fazin
Wait,
joins.
wait. Who left?
Nick, Flick Mini Judge left the team due to disagreements with the team, which apparently was some drama with like there was like already drama where we mentioned in the previous podcast. So Fazin joins the team.
Oh.
Fazin joined the team. Now, if you guys didn't know about this World Cup, when this second iteration of the World Cup roster was added, there was already big dramas already that was happening in Twitter. It was happening
Yep.
in the Twitter that was already exposed in Twitter. Like, can't remember who was it who exposed it, but I forgot who was it that exposed it. But one of the players who was joined the World Cup team was literally like it was a PR move apparently because he hasn't played the competitive scene for half a year, and one of the players who was playing the DPS role was originally a flex support role being transitioned to
Oh.
full-time DPS. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Vips.
Wait, Vips was a support player.
Wait.
Is it?
I don't wait, wait, either Vips or Vital, I don't
No.
remember.
No, Vital. Let me just take a look at Vital's
I
career.
think it's Vips that they're changed from Flex to main.
Yeah, it was flip. Yeah, it was Vips. It was Vips. He
Right?
changed from flex to like flex DPS role. Yes.
Yeah, okay, I wasn't
Yeah, so it was Vips, and then they added in a support player who hasn't played the game for half a year.
Yeah, in wait who? Wait
I
who?
can't remember who was it, but I don't know. But
Paperback?
like,
I
Paperback.
literally don't know who the supports are, so I can't say anything about them.
No, Cup did play for the 2017 roster back then. Cup did play in the 2017 roster,
Uh,
but yeah. So like in general, like it was just a really shit show. I'm being honest with you.
yeah.
I did watch some of the matches, like, bro, I watched some of the matches, even though I don't play much of Watch, but I just seeing them play, it just felt like they have no initiative.
Mhm.
And oh yeah, also another thing I did wanted to say that was like what was I want to say? Wasn't this roster, the 2023 roster, was very nepotism by the head coach, correct?
Nepotism? What do you mean by nepotism?
No, like the head coach decision making on the original roster that we discussed about it.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was.
So there was like, so okay, like as we mentioned, so I mean I did watch some of the the Team Singapore matches, and boy, I want to wash my eyes right now. Like I don't know why there was like one moment like Cup played DPS for a moment, and Paperback and Fuzzy Zin was like playing support.
Wait, really? I didn't.
I watched it and it was so bad. We got like, I can't exactly remember how's it, but like, I remember we got really. I think we were like the second team that got 2-0 very fast, like if I recall correctly.
Oh yeah, I know. I remember one team that got vote really quickly.
Yeah, this was. I don't know, man. I feel
Yeah.
like this. Like we already know that shitstorm was already part of the thing when what was it, when Lumi couldn't make it to the event, couldn't play
Yep.
because of him getting banned, and there was already trouble with the roster, the original roster, because
That was a shit ton of trauma.
there was a shit ton of drama.
Trauma, no drama.
There was a shit ton of drama. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's like, it's like I don't know why, but like I was actually thinking about this like a couple of months, like a couple of weeks back. I was thinking like, why is it that like in Singapore and like certain like other esports, right, we can never compete against the best, but when it's Valorant, we are just much better than some of the other teams. Like I don't know why.
I don't know, man.
Like I literally watched, like if you know Paper Rex, they had like a top 3 finish in Tokyo.
Oh.
In Masters Tokyo, yes. And like they played on like with a sub player, by the way. They were playing with a substitute player, by the way.
Oh.
And they were able to make it the top 3.
Wow.
That was
That's.
the biggest surprise for me ever. Like I thought they would be out within like 8 to 7 plays, but they were able to make it into top 3 without their key players. It's like without one of their star players was already like a big like, as a local Singaporean, I felt the pride because of that, because we were able to
I
produce.
don't play much Valorant, so
Yeah, so yeah, that's true. So uh, I think the one thing in general is that I feel like what the, the Overwatch World Cup like teams, right? I feel like what most of the minor region teams they'll do is that they play catch up by just playing what's meta instead of understanding what's how the meta works. Is it? Do you feel
uh
it that way?
yeah,
Do you
everybody's
feel it that way?
cause it's because a lot of people like are like kind of forced to play like certain characters, and personally like
Like that was
sure you're forced, but even not even like if you know that you can't learn the character, then just don't play.
that easy. Like I was actually going through, like I was actually thinking back about it. Like I was thinking like, remind me again, why do we always follow what was the meta back again? Like why do we always follow these meta heroes without understanding what it
Because
does?
of the typical ruling, if you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, exactly. True. I was actually thinking back at it, like in Overwatch, I was thinking like, why do we follow the pros a lot?
Yeah.
Like I was actually thinking about it. Why do we follow the pros a lot without us
It's always
understanding
the
what
if
it
we
does?
can't beat them, join them mindset.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
that's
always
true.
that.
In,
There's no change about it.
Instead of playing what we're really comfortable and what we're
Yeah.
really good at.
Yeah.
Because actually, this is like a thing, I can't remember who is it. I think it was Bankai, who was a player, who is the player for Paper X, right? Who is currently being benched. This is what he actually said. I think it was an interview in last year in Reykjavik, was that when they tried to copy some of the EMEA teams, the comms when they were scrim against, they were like, "Holy fuck, we do not know how this fucking works at all." That was their fucking mindset. They were like, we do not know how to play this comp correctly because we do not understand how it works. And then like after the experience, right, when they came back to like to play in the VCT circuits in the Southeast Asia Pacific stages, right, they'll be like, you know what, guys, let's just play our own game and let's just have fun and that's it. That's the kind of mindset I feel that is not implemented in Overwatch at all. I feel.
Yeah. It's shifted from you can do you, from it's shifted from you can fuck around and still make it work to you either play the meta or you just get trolled.
Yep. Yeah. This is just I think honestly speaking, the with all the drama that has happened into Singapore World Cup, I really wish that this does not happen again. Like I feel that
Yeah,
I feel
this
that you guys I feel that this is just a bit really just bad.
yeah. Because as someone who has like, cause as
Semi-competitive
someone who has
experience, right?
like not really like competitive.
But you did play for a collegiate
I,
team
I,
for quite
I
some
played a
time.
bit, but it wasn't really like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that high of a level,
It was just a
personally.
collegiate it was just a collegiate level,
Yeah,
like school levels. You got some
but
mix of
but but for
high and
someone
low
who has
players.
played competitive, played a bit and like know some of the and know some of these players, like honestly, like to me personally, it's like a bit of a letdown. It's
A
because
little bit of a letdown
yeah,
because I mean we did mention in the previous podcast that if the like we did mention in the previous podcast first episode we mentioned was that like having a good team environment is a must to have for everyone to work
yeah.
together and how they can feedback to each other well enough. If you
Like
don't,
if you can if you can fail together, laugh together, and have fun together, it's it's all it's the best because you're at least having a good time.
you're at least having a good time and everyone not only you're learning, everyone else is also learning together.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, you thought the Team Singapore World Cup drama was bad. I got some Overwatch League drama to tell you.
Huh?
Yeah, there was some really bad. Like so in general, I think the World Cup. I mean, like World Cup this year, the qualifiers look. The one of the biggest surprises was Saudi Arabia, Spain, and pretty much Saudi Arabia, Spain. Yeah, these two
And
were some of
honestly,
the
the
biggest
UK,
team, and the UK.
cause the UK does not have much of a scene, honestly, in the World Cup.
Actually 2018 World Cup they did make a miracle run. They had a miracle run. 2018 World Cup they had a miracle run.
But I personally think it's just a fluke.
They were lucky with the meta, would you say
They were
that?
just lucky. They were just like I think it's a fluke.
Yeah, true. I kind of agree with you, but you have to understand they almost beat South Korea, by the way, when
Yeah,
it
but
was
that
gold
South Korea
experience.
was just way too strong.
True.
Yeah.
But I think like okay, before we end the segment, who do we expect to make it out of like the group stage? What are the top 8 teams you expect to make it out from the groups?
Uh, okay, Japan and South Korea. That's Japan, South Korea, Australia. Those three are 100%.
Okay.
Well, obviously USA, Canada. That's five. Brazil. That's six. Finland. That's seven. And uh, actually only seven. All the rest are just like okay, that happened.
I I'll tell you who are I'll give you like a summary of what are the top 8 will make it out. I expect to make it out from each group. I expect China to make it out because they have like a bunch of Overwatch League players who have been playing in a very high level. Like they have some really good
Okay.
players. Shy and Leaf, really really nutty players.
Mm-hmm.
Gushui, probably the best Chinese main tank I think out there right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, the Okay, so China, I expect them to make it out. US and Canada are the 2 teams to also make it out. UK, I'm also expecting UK to make it out. That's 4. Okay, I'm just gonna put out some of the big the 3 that are gonna make it out is China, US, and South Korea, obviously.
Mine
And
was
then
South Korea, Japan, and USA.
I think Canada is gonna make. I think Canada can do well because they got some good players. I
Mm.
think they have some really good mix of contenders and our players. Uh, I'm expecting UK to make it out. I expect Finland to make it out, and then I expect probably France to make it out. And the last team is kind of a bit of I think the last team I can just put it as like a little bit of a wild card. Like I expect either Spain or Saudi Arabia to make it out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, cause oh yeah, this fun fact about the Saudi Arabia team was that like Craigie did state in like one of the watch party streams saying that Saudi Arabia, if they do play in like a land environment, he did mention that they might get like a slight debuff because like when they were playing in the EMA qualifiers, most of the EMA players were playing on ping differential from what I heard.
Oh,
So
so 90% of the Saudi Arabia won because of pain.
something like that, but I mean, if they were able to beat some of the best EU teams, some of the best European teams, I mean, it means something.
I guess. I guess.
Yeah, we just need to see how well they perform on the land environment. That's the only thing I can
Yeah.
just say. So yeah, I mean that's all we have for the Overwatch World Cup segment. And when you thought the Singapore World Cup team got drama, I got some Overwatch League drama for you.
Oh.
Yeah, we can just extend this one more extra bit. So, have you heard of the team called Paris Eternal?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Definitely, yeah.
okay, so recently they just changed their name this year to Vegas Eternal.
Fair. That's honestly fair.
Okay,
That's a fair
and
name to change
and
compared to
and
Vegas.
yeah, so this is what exactly happened. So Paris, they have like an absolute disaster of a season in 2023 because they are currently one of the most winless teams right now in
No.
the season. They are the winless teams they're like the winningless teams right now in the mid-season in the mid-season standing. I need to see
Wow.
what was their record. Let me just browse it through, but I'll be just give me like 1 or 2 moments for a second. Just give me a moment. They didn't look. If I were to say one thing, Paris they look very poo poo, straight up.
I see.
Paris just look poo poo. They straight up just look poo poo. They wasn't really like they weren't really like it didn't what was it I had to say? Would you believe me and I tell you that when teams were playing against like Paris, right, they were bold enough to disrespect them to play Life Weaver against them.
Wow.
Yeah, they were disrespectful enough to play Life Weaver against them.
That's
That's how bad Paris Eternal were. And just to give you a little bit of context to the situation, that most of the players did participate in the Team USA trial, and they lost to Semito's Overwatch World Cup trial team.
huh?
Yeah,
They lost
they
to a
lost
trial
to
team?
no, they lost to a Semito's World Cup team. They lose to Semito's USA World Cup team, which is a bunch of content creators and a bunch of retired players. They lost to them.
Huh.
That shows how bad they were. That just shows how bad they are.
What the
And yeah, and okay, so let me just give you a summary. Was that like there was like in the last season? I'm just gonna tell you what happened last season. Last season, when the new roster was announced, it was already a shit show because they replaced all of their EU players with new American players, which have was just close doing towards the end of the season, and they already had like a 1-12 record, and towards the end they were like I think they have a really bad negative record. They did not win any single of their games at all. They were just losing very very bad.
Oh my, that's something.
Yeah, and apparently this season they are like I just looked up at what their winners record. They are currently 0-8 in the spring stage, with a map differential of 1:24.
They won one map.
Yes.
And it was against who?
Okay, let me just give you like a general consultants. They were playing against they did they the Western region. I've been complaining about this in like for quite a while. The Western region has like a lot of stack players than the Eastern team. So let me just give you like some of the teams that were in. You got Atlanta Reign, Houston, Florida, Boston, Justice, Glads, Titans, Defiant, New York, Shock, Spitfire, and Valiant. Like Valiant did went 0-8, but Valiant 0-8 wasn't like as bad as the Vegas because Valiant, from what I heard, was that they did well. They at least learned how to like no pressure, just play. Let's just play how we want. Vegas were just straight up just bad.
Oh.
They were just straight up bad,
Oh
and
wow.
apparently like throughout the half of the season, they literally dropped like three of their players for three Korean players to play for them with big ping disadvantage and language barrier in the middle of the end of the season right now.
Why? They might as well just stick with it the whole way.
Apparently it's already a shitstorm, and apparently from what I heard was that the reason why Vegas is so bad right now is because of the general manager. Is
Why?
their general manager Avala. I'm not sure if you heard the name.
No.
Okay, so just to give you like a general context of Avala was that like Avala started as a coach in the Overwatch Korean scene,
Mm-hmm.
and then she coached for Optic Academy, who previously owned the Houston before transitioning to Metabellion for one of the top Korean contender teams, where she was like working with one of the best coaches in Jin at that time. And then soon after that, she transitioned to Washington Justice. And then after coaching with the Justice, she went to be as the assistant manager of the Paris Eternal right now.
Oh.
Yeah. Then she got promoted to full-time manager to build like a roster, and now she is still currently the general manager. And apparently, this is what
By the
happened.
way,
This is
your
what
mic is up to your nose.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Apparently this is what exactly happened to this is one of the players that was left the team. This is what he had to say. Which was Matlow. I don't know how do you pronounce the name, but yeah, this is what he said when he was being dropped by the team. He said, "Wish the best to the new guys and the old teammates for the next half of the season. They all deserve support. I 100% did not perform up to my standards, but I'm genuinely happy to be out of a negative environment."
Oh.
Yeah. So
Well,
so
well,
this is
well. He did mention good luck to the player, so it definitely wasn't. So it definitely wasn't the player's fault.
Yeah. So this is what happened. This is what he said. Avala created her own toxic wasteland with consistent lies to our team, selfish desire that will further boost her own PR, and
Bruh.
consistently going back on her own words and playing the victim if called out, gaslighting the organization decision that helps her image, and much more. This is the end of my career for now. It was fun while it lasted, but it took a large toll on my physical and mental health while also being in a negative environment. Hopefully, this sheds some light on the situation people who have been going through on Paris/Vega for the past 3 years.
Wow.
So it is literally the general manager's fault in this kind of situation where having like apparently this is what happens that there's like a very negative like it's just really just in general just to put like if you were to be like if you are like an upcoming hour player that if you want to join our team, I think Vegas is not a team you should go.
No, obviously.
Like it's literally a graveyard for players that destroy a lot of players' careers. And even Ben Best even called it out too, who was like a player who played until 2020. This is what he said after beating them. He said, "I was waiting this karma for so long, mad respect to their players, but this is what you deserve when you lie about players, trash them, ruin their careers, and act like an angel in social media. Trying to take the lead alone and fire the people for their influencer is so selfish."
Oh god.
So in retrospect, let's just put it in this way: is that Paris is a shit show right now. Like up until now, I'm still surprised that the upper management haven't take action against her. Where the players already have voiced out like that it's a very bad environment for them to be. They couldn't like do anything about it, which is like straight up just bad.
Yeah, that's just from everything I heard. Yeah, that like it's just like oh what moment?
It's
Like
just bad.
what?
It's just bad. It was just bad. But yeah. But I mean, yeah, but good thing to know is that these players shed out the light about how bad the environment is. So that's good.
Yeah. And
But
at
let's
least
just
at least that people that still like support. So I feel like whatever like his decision wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I think
it
it
was.
was a good. I think it was a plus.
Mhm. But I do, but yeah, yeah. Enough of the drama negativity today. So I
Yeah.
think we talk a lot of negative stuff today.
Yeah, we
There's
talk a lot.
just
Yeah.
there's way too
I
much
think I
good.
half the podcast. No, not the half the whole podcast. We talk about negative stuff.
Yeah, it was. It's just straight up bad.
Yeah.
Um, I think I think that's all for today's podcast. Actually, it's like actually kind of a
Um.
relatively short
Yeah, it is.
episode.
This podcast is really short.
It was like an
I
hour
guess
and
I
a.
guess I can share like one thing that's related to the Overwatch World Cup that
Mm,
that one of my friends who lives in that country was just was just give me an actual that happened really okay.
okay.
So my friend who lives in the Philippines,
Okay.
apparently from what I heard, Philippines was good
In scrims, correct?
at breaking world records for being a
Oh,
for being a very bad team.
oh, yeah, I remember the notorious the what was it, the
Because
one
no,
point,
here's
wasn't
the
it like the
thing.
1 second C9? Wasn't it the 1 second C9 thing?
I don't know, but I remember my friend said that Philippines broke two world records. One for being the fastest, like one
The fastest team to
for having
lose.
the fastest map and the fastest match.
Yeah, it was
The
like
fast
I
yeah,
literally watched. I
don't
literally watched.
I think I got them mixed up, but the fastest match
I know what you're
was
talking about. I know what you're talking
yeah.
about. It was them
I
against
think
South
the fastest
Korea.
map was against Japan.
South. Uh-huh.
Oh wait,
And
was it
then
Japan or South Korea? I don't remember.
no, it was South Korea. It was
Or
South
South
Korea.
Korea. Then the
Yeah.
match is Japan. 'Cause I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure the match. I'm pretty sure it took 21 minutes.
yeah, it took around there. It took 21 minutes.
Yeah.
Like the second map like ended in like around 4 minutes.
Oh.
it ended in 4 minutes because like I watched the South Korean versus Philippines match. Like I'm just gonna put it in view. South Korea were off rolling. Everyone was all off rolling. Sparkle was playing
Because they all
Sojourn.
know Philippines was bad.
Lip was playing Genji. Chio was playing Ana, and Fielder was playing I think he was playing
They were
Mercy or
just
Life.
they were just trolling and they still
They were
won.
just trolling, and let me just give you a context. They were just spawn camping Philippines hard.
Oh yeah,
They were
I remember
spawn
that.
camping them. They were just spawn camping them. They didn't even give them a chance to push the payload.
Yeah.
That's like
I think they gave them a chance at overtime, but that's about it.
no, they didn't. They did
Oh,
not.
they
They did
didn't.
not.
Oh, I don't
They
remember.
did
I
not.
don't remember that
They
part.
did not. They just spawn camped. They just kept spawn camping them. That is like selfless. Yeah, I'm not sure. Have you heard? Did you actually heard of selfless?
Yeah.
That is like selfless level of spawn camping. Like Overwatch, the
Yeah.
former Overwatch
It
team,
was
they
just
just
like.
spawn camp them. The cherry on top was them just going Orisa, just shift to the card, push 1 second, instant win.
Yeah.
Like that was like the most funniest. I
Yeah.
just watched the whole match. I was like, oh my god. Like let me just put it in the context. Like USA and Team Korea, they were just trolling in their qualifying matches. They were just hard flexing everyone. There was like in the USA match. Will I tell you this? There was like a Rhine 1v1 fight.
Huh?
There was like a Rhine 1v1 fight and a Tall Hammer 1v1 fight.
Wow.
Yes, I'm serious. There was like a tall 1v1 fight. The tall 1v1 fight was just
At least both teams has good sportsmanship and they gave both players consent.
yeah.
So I wouldn't really say
I
that's
mean,
like
you got free content, not gonna lie.
yeah,
You got
it's a free
content.
content. I wouldn't even say it's like trolling because
It's-
it's just could both teams agree to have a good time.
yeah.
So
And
I wouldn't really call that trolling.
the only thing I can say is that respect for having a top hammer 1v1, not gonna
Oh
lie.
yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why, but like whenever like there's like a top hammer 1v1, people agree that you must do it.
Yeah, so everyone was like,
But
okay, we'll just sit back and just let them do their own thing.
let them do their own thing. And same with, yeah, that was like the most
Yeah.
funniest thing coming out from them. Like I think USA and Korea were just they were just flexing and just trolling
Yeah.
everyone. Like
Especially
if I
Team
were
Korea.
to
Especially Team Korea.
no, I thought no USA were done with doing the most trolling because everybody all off rolled. Everybody was all off rolling. Korea was like they just played different like heroes, different heroes in the same category. Oh
Ah.
yeah, they did off roll. I can't remember who was it, but I think it was against I can't remember which team was it. I think it was against Hong Kong or Taiwan where everyone roles was all switching. Like it is such a weird comp. Like Sparkle was playing Reinhardt, Fearless was playing Genji, Lip was playing support, and Finn was playing Widow. I think I can't exactly remember. Like yeah, they were just all just like they just knew that they were just that bad. They're like, you know what? Let's just off roll and then let's just have a fun time. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of troll. No, I mean those are some really funny moments. Not gonna lie.
Yep.
Those are like the best moments.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That was actually quite funny. So yeah. I do want to say like I mean we do. I mean that's what we pretty much wanted to cover in the podcast today, right?
Yeah, that's about it.
I mean,
Actually went a lot
like
faster. Actually went a lot faster than I thought. I thought it was gonna go for like
yeah.
2 hours.
No, we actually finished everything like within like an hour and 20. So
Yeah,
it's actually quite a short.
it's gonna be an hour 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's actually a quite short like
Yeah.
discussion about what we want to discuss.
Mm.
I think the next podcast we can actually discuss something about like, you know, something fun and non-Overwatch related for a while.
Yeah, cause we were talking about Overwatch for like 2 podcasts, you know.
Yeah,
I feel like
I feel like we need to add in like a different
we need to give some variety. Yeah.
yeah, let's agree. So I think that's it for
you know what our topic will be for the next podcast, like
yeah,
when it happens, like next month.
which is happening in August.
Yeah.
Like I think it's happening in like Nash.
No, it's not happening actually. I can tell you that much. It's happening a week before.
A week before, so it's got some buffer time, so that's good.
Yeah, we got a bit of time to think about a topic.
Yep. Yeah, we got one more for the next topic. So yeah, I guess that's all for today's podcast.
Yeah.
And
Uh. Yeah. I think that's about it.
that's about it. Yeah, we already
I
kinda-
think we covered pretty much everything. There's like nothing much to
There's not much to talk about, and
Yeah.
we'll see you soon in the next podcast.
And also if you do want to rewatch the podcast, I will be uploading this on my YouTube channel. So just So if you wanna, so for rewatchability, you can go to my YouTube channel and watch it. I'm definitely not plugging. Hee.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Anyways, I think that'll be it for this podcast.
Hmm.
And we will see you all.
In a month's
Next.
time.
The next. We'll see you all next time. Next time. Once again, I am Gamonic,
And this is spirits.
and we are both signing off for now.
Yeah,
I don't know why I'm signing off
yeah,
like this like a weather
true.
podcast or something.
That's true. That's true. Okay, we're both signing out.
Okay. Anyways, bye bye.
Bye
Goodbye
bye.
goodbye people.